The November 11th, 2014 meeting of the Marion County School Board is called to order. For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I'm requesting everyone in the audience, please turn off your cell phone or put them on vibrate. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Ron Crawford, District 5.
Here.
Mrs. Nancy Stacy, District 1. Here. Ms. Carol Ely, District 2.
Present.
Ms. Angie Boynton, District 4.
Here.
Mr. Bobby James, District 3.
Here.
Mr. George Tomlin, Superintendent.
Here.
Mr. Stephen Lake, Board Attorney.
Here.
Up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are being televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily take action, you must first complete a goldenrod form located on the front table. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete a green form. Those forms must be fully completed and received by the board secretary no later than 5:40 p.m. The procedures applicable for each are on a separate sheet. Before you begin your presentation, it is required that you state your name and address for the record. Matters dealing with student discipline, including expulsion, will be scheduled at the conclusion of the televised portion of this meeting. Parents wishing to address the board regarding a disciplinary matter will have the opportunity to do so at that time. I will now ask the board attorney to explain some additional points.
Thank you, Mr. James. Good evening, everyone. If you plan to address the school board tonight, please be aware of the procedures that the school board has adopted. A copy is available to you from Kevin Christian, who's right out in front holding up the forms, or on one of the front tables. Audiovisual presentations are permitted if provided at least 48 hours prior to the meeting to the school board's assistant. Audiovisual presentations are limited to a total of 5 minutes. The use of any student's name except by his or her parents or guardian, or identifying references to or identification of other students and their families is strictly prohibited. Based on time considerations, the school board by majority vote may rightfully limit the number of presentations on any one topic, shorten the presentation time, move public comment time to a different position on the agenda, or eliminate the public comment time altogether.
Okay. Brenda.
Mr. Chris Altabello.
Chris Altabello, 2020 Northeast 43rd Street, Ocala. Before I go into my speech, I just wanted to say publicly I wanted to thank Mr. Ron Crawford for his years of service on the board. I know, Ron, that sometimes we've been on opposite sides, but the one thing that I've always valued is during my time as president, when I called you or sent you an email asking to meet with you, I got a response very quickly, and we've had good conversations, so I want to thank you for that, and thank you for your service. Board, Chairman James, Superintendent Tomlin, next week we are going to celebrate American Education Week. In particular, Education Support Professionals Day. The National Education Association was one of the creators and original sponsors of American Education Week. In 1919, representatives of the NEA and the American Legion met to seek ways to generate public support for education. The conventions of both organizations subsequently adopted resolutions of support for a national effort to raise public awareness of the importance of education. And in 1921, the National Education Association Representative Assembly in Des Moines, Iowa, called for a designation of 1 week each year to spotlight education. In its resolution, the NEA called for an Education Week observed in all communities annually for the purpose of informing the public of the accomplishments and needs of public schools, and to secure the cooperation and support of the public in meeting those needs. And I think that last Tuesday, the public spoke loudly regarding that. The first observance of American Education Week occurred in December 4th through the 10th in 1921 with the NEA and American Legion as co-sponsors. After that, the Office of Education joined the effort, and the PTA joined in 1938. It is now celebrated during the first full week before Thanksgiving. In In 1987, the NEA Representative Assembly called upon the creation of a special way to honor the contributions of public school support staff. The National Education Support Personnel, later renamed Professional Day, was established and celebrated that year. Since then, it has been observed on the Wednesday during American Education Week. Education support professionals work hard for public education and for the students that they serve. Education support professionals, or ESPs, are often the first people our school children encounter on a daily basis. Marion County's public school education support professionals, listen to this, they transport children to and from school safely and on time. They are the first to greet children at the school door. They maintain safe and clean school buildings. They provide nutritious meals for school children. And they assist teachers in classroom instruction. Education support professionals are equal partners and essential to public education. They are part of the One Education workforce serving the whole student. I'd like everybody to join the Marion Education Association in celebrating National Education Support Professionals Day, Wednesday, November 19th. I know you'll be recognizing the ESP unit tonight, but Marie, please let your ESPs know that the teachers are forever grateful and appreciative of the role that you play in ensuring a great public school for every child. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent and Board, for recognizing and celebrating the contributions made by ESPs. And I'd like to leave you with a quote from Laura Montgomery, who is the president of the National Council of Education Support Professionals. She said this, "Too often, ESPs' contributions are overlooked and considered insignificant. But the trend is changing. As we move towards school reform, ESPs are there, on the front lines. The end result, where ESPs are involved in the school and community effort, you have better schools and more successful students." Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim Touchton.
Good evening. My name is Jim Touchton. I live at 720 Northeast 30th Avenue, Ocala. I'd like to echo some of Mr. Altabella's comments to Mr. Crawford. Thank you for your 16 years of service. Your presence and your expertise will greatly be missed. I would also like to congratulate Ms. Boynton, Mr. James, and Ms. King on their successful election campaigns. You've submitted yourself to a really important task. The school board represents the civil population as it oversees and assures proper, effective, and efficient administration and management of the public education system of Marion County. And I, as a grandparent, as a parent, as a teacher, and a resident of Marion County, would like to remind each and every member of this board and the soon-to-be board of your mandate and expectations over the next few years. Marion County Schools is currently winning the race to the bottom and has almost crossed that finish line. Marion County Public Schools are hovering around 4%, the bottom 4% of public schools in the United States. This is absolutely unacceptable and detrimental not only to our community, but more importantly to our children. Failing schools do not attract new business interest, new families, or new opportunities to the area. Failing schools drive thriving businesses away. Failing schools drive successful graduates away, and failing schools drive families away. Marion County's economic growth will mirror Marion County Public Schools' academic growth. Real improvement in the poverty rate, unemployment rate, business climate, stability of the middle class, increased graduation rates, and academic performance will only be realized after a true investment in our classrooms. We must invest in our schools, and you, Marion County School Board, must invest in our schools. Yours is not a place of service, but a position. Yours is a place of service, not position or membership. Yours is a place of action, not disinterested observation. And yours is a place of trust, not pride or self-importance. Over the last 10 years, I have seen the vitality of Marion County and of the Marion County Public Schools steadily erode. As the national economic climate has improved over the last few years, the conditions in our public schools have not. We have seen hundreds of teachers released, more left to neighboring counties for better working and classroom conditions, and many have permanently left the profession. We've seen private and public bullying at the highest levels of administration. Programs have been created to keep kids in school that are simply grandiose babysitting programs, not providing any academic activity. Continued cuts, continued loss then recovery of millions of budget dollars, continued abuse of public trust. These are not the experiences our children need to keep. As a community, we have recently placed 60% of this esteemed body for service. We're giving you 1,460 days and over $150,000 each to turn this ship around. We've also granted you access to an estimated $60 million in additional money to repair some of the damage caused to Marion County Public Schools in recent years. We will remember the promises you've made, and we will hold you accountable. We don't need scorecards, more data, more tests, more broken promises. We need action. We need service. We need our trust restored. We need it not for ourselves, but for the future of our children. Thank you.
Could I say something, Mr. James? Thank you, Mr. Touchton, for coming and speaking to us. I think we needed that. I think we need to seriously understand what's ahead of us, and we are in a race to the bottom. We've been that way for a while, and I hope that you and the people in this community will continue to come to us when you feel that we're not representing the students right. It's time to turn every single bit of energy we have to our classroom. And I think we've met in committees. We've traveled to other counties looking at things. It's time to stop all the meetings, stop all the committee development, and you're right. Go to work. Thank you.
Brenda?
Christine Touchton.
Hi, my name is Christine Touchton, and I live at the same address as my husband.
Please give it.
720 Northeast 30th Street, Ocala, Florida, 34474. And the reason why I'm here today is I want to speak with you about bullying and cyberbullying. And the reason that this concerns me is because of the way towards the end of the elections, the things that were said seemed to be very demeaning to the Hindi community. And these people are fine, upstanding citizens who contribute to the overall enhancement of our community. And if you look in the students' code book, handbook of conduct, you would see that bullying is not, or cyberbullying is not tolerated at all. And in fact, that it can result in suspension and in permanent expulsion from all extracurricular activities. Permanent. That means they can't ever go back to their extracurricular activities. It's a Class 2B violation, and if we are holding our young people to this standard, whose brains are not even fully developed until they're almost 29 years old, then how much more should we be accountable for the things we say and how we say them? Mr. James, I think you should step down. I think what you said and how you said it, or how you were represented, was wrong. And I'm surprised, Mr. Tomlin, you haven't asked for that. I'm surprised that this community hasn't asked for that. The Hindi people are very hurt. They feel violated, not only on a local level, but also on a national level. The president of the Hindi Association feels very, very just distraught over the way this has played out. And I think that it's time that we change and not behave in this manner. Thank you.
Okay.
Diane Schreier.
Could you pass these down? There's one copy for everybody. Okay, I'm talking about totally different things. I'm talking about two programs that we're.
Diane, name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Diane Schreier, 5111 Northeast 4th Street, Ocala. And first of all, Mr. Crawford, thank you for all your years of dedicated service. You've been a true professional here. I'm wearing two different hats in this 5 minutes, so I'm going to switch pretty quickly. One is American Association of University Women, AAUW. I'm the State Public Policy Chair, and I'm also on the National Board of Public Policy. In Florida, we have implemented a program, and this is the third year of it, called Tech Trek. It's a camp that's for girls all over the state. There are 44 girls who will be there this year. Ideally, we'd like to have a Marion County girl there. It's a science camp. It deals with math, technology, engineering, and science. And they do all sorts of different activities. I put some of the information in this packet for you to read, and I just wanted to make you aware of it. Jackie Ballas has information to give to the teachers. And we'd like to, the deadline for an application is December 14th. And I would like very much to have a Marion County girl submit her application for the interview and be accepted into the camp this summer. This is the third year of running the camp. It takes place in Eckerd, at Eckerd College, in the middle of July. The first year was at University of Central Florida, last year was at Eckerd, and this year it's at Eckerd. Professionals from these industries, STEM industries, come in and they talk to the girls, they work with the girls do online, hands-on work. And it's a very interesting program. I hope you read this and pursue it. The other one is also another program. You all know I like 30-second speeches. Okay, this is Teen Dating 101. 76% of our young women, and men too, or young men are also involved with this, are victims of teen dating abuse. This is a serious problem that has to be dealt with. Dealing with the school system, and I've already been in contact with Mark Vianello on this, and I'll be in contact with Janet Weldon. I want to bring this program to the schools. It's part of the General Federation of Women's Club of Florida. It's been tried in several other areas of Florida, and we would like to have a program here. I have some information on this also, of how the program is. At the top of the second page, you'll see an ideal program. You'll see and tells you what happens, knowing the law, the impact of violence, recognizing it. And this program is important because the girls do not know when the first steps start, and boys don't either. Oh, this is fine. When people apologize, oh, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. He apologized, he really loves me. Well, at the point that they're beaten up, they don't really love you if they're beating you up. And I would like this program to be implemented through the school system. And I'd like to have hopefully at some point, January, February, have a forum where girls will come. I want the kids to come, I want their parents to come, and other members of the community who would be interested, so that we can make an impact, teach the kids what they need to know to recognize the symptoms. And that's it. Thank you. Are there any questions?
No, but I just wanted to say thank you, and I really just glanced over the Tech Trek and thought it was wonderful, just girls.
It is.
STEM program, so I thank you for bringing it to us. I appreciate that, and also the teen dating. Really,
You said you've been in touch with Jackie Ballas regarding
Yes.
the, good.
Yeah. And I've been in touch with Mark Vianello too, so.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Diane. You know, I've really gotten to know you over the last year, and tremendous respect
Thank
that
you.
I have for you. And thank you for continuing to be involved. These are great. So many children today are from broken homes, and mom's busy working. She just doesn't have time to talk to her children. And, you know, where even if both parents are working, at least
Yeah.
there's some time to talk between the two. But when mom's doing it all by herself, she's so exhausted, it's all she can do to get the laundry done and the food cooked. And so, you know, this is a great program, and I know we'll have to do some things after school and do some thing and work things in the corners and stuff like that, in clubs or something. from the school so we don't take away from our hours in the classroom. But thank you for bringing this. This is, I think, I'm so excited about all of the energy that I'm seeing from people who have been involved in the campaigns and everything. It's just exciting, and thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
No additional speakers.
No additional speakers. Major George Clark and members of the Forest High Air Force Junior ROTC will provide the inspiration and lead us in the pledge this evening.
I'm Major George Clark, the new senior aerospace science instructor at Forest High School. I'm replacing Lieutenant Colonel Baranowski, who retired from teaching there this past summer. About 10 years ago, halfway through my military career, I taught ROTC at the university level, and in the 2 or 3 months that I've been at Forest now, I've been struck by how favorably the students in high school ROTC here compared to those I taught in college. You, or I guess I should say we, have some very good students in Marion County, some fantastic students, actually, and I want you to meet a few of them. I'd like to introduce you to our Cadet Wing Commander, Carice Bryan, and members of her senior staff who will be presenting colors on this very special Veterans Day board meeting. As Wing Commander, Ms. Bryan manages the activities of about 350 cadets at one of the top Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps units in the nation, Forest High School's 931st Cadet Wing. Ms. Bryan?
Good evening, family, guests, and friends. American revolutionary Thomas Paine wrote in his pamphlet Common Sense, "It is not in numbers, but in unity that our great strength lies." Those words are as true today as they were in 1776. The unity that is America springs from one cause: freedom. Generation after generation, Americans have stepped forward to defend our freedom and to preserve the founding principles of this great nation. From Valley Forge to Vietnam, from Kuwait to Kandahar, from Berlin to Baghdad, these patriots have stood watch over America's peace, and, when necessary, they have borne the costs of our nation's wars. Today, there are more than 24 million living veterans. They are among our nation's finest citizens. Today, November 11th, Veterans Day, we honor their solemn pledge to defend our freedom. We thank them for their example of service and sacrifice. We pledge to uphold their legacy by teaching younger generations about their role in securing the blessings of liberty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of colors by the AFJ ROTC unit from Forest High School, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the exception of item PR9 and JD 15-06, JD 15-08, JD 15-11, and JD 15-12E under item SD 38, which have been withdrawn entirely, I recommend approval of the agenda for the November 11, 2014 school board meeting with the materials in the board packet. Those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, the audio recording and DVD included as part of the official record of the meeting.
May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Crawford and second by Mrs. Ely. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I can't, it went out.
Vote for Mrs. Stacy.
Got it.
Got it.
The motion passed 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 9, 2014 administrative briefing and work session, the October 14, 2014 school board meeting? May I have a motion and a second?
So move. Second.
It was moved by Mrs. Ely, second by Mrs. Boynton. Are there any additions or corrections to the minute? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passed 5-0. Ms. Julie Shealy, Executive Director of School Development and Evaluations and Technical Institute, Marion Technical Institution, Principal Jim Worley, have a special recognition for this evening. Mr. Worley. Ms. Shealy.
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I've got the pleasure of introducing Mr. Worley, who is going to talk about another wonderful donation we have to one of our schools. So, Mr. Worley.
Thank you. Board members, Mr. Crawford, we thank you for putting the eyesight of bringing MTI into existence in this county through your vision and with Mr. Herring bringing VOTEC Center's ideas back into Marion County. We thank you very much. This evening I have Johnny Lightfoot who works with the Marion Regional Manufacturers Association, and he has a little donation for us, and the instructor is Dale Toney, and he's in charge of our Robotics, Automation and Design Academy. So, Mr. Lightfoot.
We have a little check that we raised some money for $8,500, which is our highest donation yet. I've been up here for 4 years, and each year it's gotten a little bit better, but I gotta say to you, it's really because of the job that these two gentlemen have done lately that has really gotten the association excited when we go to have a golf tournament to raise money for it, because every year in February we visit MTI and we visit the classroom. And you know, there's an old saying about vision creates opportunity. And especially in education, if you have a vision of what you're doing, it creates an opportunity for the students to learn and creates an excitement. And between the vision that Mr. Worley has brought to MTI and the vision that Mr. Toney has created for his students in his academy, those students have really excelled. Last year we had more certifications than we've ever had. And the manufacturers get excited about that. They see the programs that they're learning. This is what we've been asking for. And the education system is providing. What we're asking for is better students, better trained students. Not only that, they're getting trained in real world skills when they come out. They know how to interview. They know how to dress for a job. They know how to answer questions in an interview. They're so much better prepared when they come to us as employers. So the job that they're doing you know, we get so excited about. So we get excited about raising money to try to provide more things and tools for Dale to be able to have to teach these students, and also provide people to go in and talk to the students and actually help teach how to use some of these tools. So I thank you all for providing MTI. To me, it's been a big pleasure of mine to be part of MTI. And I know Mr. Tomlin has seen me there before, and it's a passion of mine to see these students excel, because that's what we're here for, is to provide a place for these students to have an opportunity to excel at what they're doing. And it doesn't matter where they come from, which school they came from, what background. Ms. Stacy, you were talking about some of them come from just one-parent homes. It doesn't matter what economic background they come from, but they have an opportunity to learn a skill that can take them throughout their life. So that's the opportunity that you're providing by having MTI there. And I think it's so, so important. As I finished my last year as president of the association, I will still continue my association with MTI. And next year I'll probably retire from work, I will still be associated with MTI. It's that important to me. So, thank you guys.
Thank you. You want to say a word?
Yeah, let me, we get a chance to talk about MTI a lot around the state because we're really pretty unique, especially the program that we've set up with the Robotics and Automation Academy. And it's difficult in the short amount of time that I have here to really explain all the stuff that Mr. Lightfoot or Johnny was talking about. So we have an open door policy. Anytime you guys want to come, you're welcome to come and visit the classroom. We get a lot of visitors most of the day. I think Mr. Conway brings about 2 or 3 a day around every day to whether they're looking for interns, whether they're looking for kids that are almost ready to do that. The certifications that we're getting, especially in my program, are the same certifications that they're getting in industry. It's the same certifications they get at the community college, and that's really where we've got the bar for us. And it's on purpose. It's not. I mean, I'm not watering any of this stuff down for them because I want them to be successful. And with support, with Mr. Ma and with Johnny and the golf tournament. We didn't do well in the golf tournament, but we tried, and they still gave us money. It's actually pretty cool. So, but the community is huge, and the getting into the getting them involved stuff that Mr. Tomlin has, it's a big deal for us. So we really do appreciate all the support that they do for us.
One of the things I just wanted to just share with Jim, I know that you and Ms. Jenkins will be getting together. And this is a tremendous amount of knowledge that we were losing from the school district whenever they decide to walk away. We as a community have a tremendous opportunity here because one of the things that we talked about was vocational training and how we can improve what we're doing. We're doing a good job, but how could we improve the outreach? Because there are so many kids that I know would like to take advantage of the programs that are offered there, and how we can combine CTAE and mesh the program. We have a year, and I've talked with the superintendent about this, we have a year to come up with a plan where we really can take advantage of everything that we're presenting here. And I would like to commend Mr. Worley again. Mr. Worley, when you first went there, it was one of those thoughts in my mind, Jim, what are you gonna do? And now when I go over and look at your data, looked at what you've done, we can't afford to lose the knowledge that you have at this critical point where if we can bring these 2 programs together and then we can reach into every region of our school district, it would be tremendous. And I just want to commend all of you because that's a job well done. And we would like to continue to expand that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Crawford.
Gentlemen, I just want to thank you for being so supportive of really one of my pet projects over the years. You have been truly a lifeline of being able to provide for some of the resources that we've needed over there. Board members, I've been in some of the classes over there. The one I think I enjoyed the most was when the children were demonstrating. They had to build a small vehicle with, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was the egg in front, where they had to, the vehicle had to hit an object without braking. And this is all, they were learning how to, deal with stress forces and things like this. This is all stuff that they're going to be able to use out in the real world that we talk about all the time. So thank you, gentlemen, for helping us provide for that. Mr. Worley, I can't say enough to decide to step forward and take on a very unique principal position in our county. You truly have been an inspiration over there, and children have told me that. The teachers have told me that. So thank you, sir, for every minute that you've put into it. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all that you've done for us.
And Mr. James, I know I'd like to echo that. You know, Mr. Worley, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates didn't go, they don't have college degrees. They might have been at your MTI. Had they had that advantage. So there's probably some really fantastic people that are going to come out of that program. And you, sir, your involvement. Our communities are so big. Our community is very large. But the people who truly serve is very, very small in numbers. Most of the people just get through their days, and many people could serve that don't. Most people that serve don't have time, but they make time. Because if I looked probably into your life, you're probably one of the busiest people in the world, in the county, but yet you make time. So when someone says to me, I don't have time, it just falls on such deaf ears, because those who are the busiest do the most, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much. I was just wondering if any of your students might be able to come sometime to give us a demonstration, or just let us know what they're doing, just be able to talk to us about it, to not just educate us, but the public, so we can find out, more what's going on. The fact that they're coming out with these certifications are fantastic, but the robotics, that would be, I don't know, if I would love to see something like that here.
I would invite you. We're having a Mr. Mall meeting at MTI in February, and these same students will be demonstrating everything in the classroom to all of us. So I would invite you as our guest to come in, and you will get to see all of it.
When is that exactly?
It'll be the first Thursday in February.
Okay, thank you.
We did win grand champion at the chili cook-off.
Well, that counts for a lot.
A couple of robots working the chili.
That counts a lot, You can make chili, you can do anything.
Yeah,
you get that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And culinary cooks for us, so that's very much.
Principal Worley and Mr. Paul Van Winkle, Program Specialist, will present the quality report with the overview on Marion Virtual School. Have a PowerPoint?
Paul does. What happened was I got the opportunity that they asked that we could get Marion Virtual School to come to the MTI campus and utilize the things that we're doing at MTI and the space that we had there, so we could give them kind of a school-based center rather than being in a portable on one of the other campuses. And so what we have done is it was brought Marion Virtual School onto the campus of MTI up in the front of Building 1 near my office, and so trying to develop where we're going with Marion Virtual. This summer we opened the position up for a program specialist, so someone could be in charge and to take Marion County virtually into the viral world, and that's Paul Vowinkle. And so Paul just came aboard in September with us, and he's got a presentation of what we're doing right now. Okay.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity here. Talk a little bit about virtual world in Marion County. We actually have two different schools going in Marion County. We have Marion Virtual School, which is a franchise of Florida Virtual School. We have 15 full-time instructors and 5 adjunct instructors teaching a variety of about 45 different classes, and really can almost double that because all our courses we offer in an honors mode too. So we have quite a few different courses that our students in Marion County can take. We also have a new program, relatively new, it's in its 3rd year. It's called Marion eLearning. It is a curriculum that was developed by Tracy Patterson here in Marion County, one of our program specialists, and this services our K-5 group. Okay, so we've got there 2 different programs. Both are housed at the MTI campus. Both of them have their own individual classroom. So the one advantage we have over other virtual programs that are offered out there is that our students can actually have some one-on-one, face-to-face time with both their other students and with their instructors on the MTI campus. Currently in our community, we've got about 81 full-time Marion Virtual School students. That means 81 students out there in the county are solely using Marion Virtual School classes. That means all that FTE stays in our county. And I'll get to why they may be doing virtual as opposed to brick and mortar, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Marion eLearning continues to grow, slow rate, but we've got 35 full-time students in that program, ranging from kindergarten to 5th grade. We have approximately, that says 838, I actually ran the report this morning. We have over 900 students right now taking some sort of Marion Virtual School class. That could be at their school in a lab, or it could be at home. All these courses have to be approved by their guidance counselor to take these courses, again, maintaining all that FTE. Those 900 students roughly are taking about 5,800 different classes. That's how many classes we're actually offering to the 900 students out there. Why do they choose Marion Virtual School or Marion eLearn? There's a lot of different reasons, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but these are some of the bullets. They make a personal learning choice. A lot of our full-time students are home education students, so they come in, they give us their intent to home educate their students, and they're looking for different curriculum, different ways to educate their students. So they're looking to us to offer some opportunities. So we do have some opportunities with Marion Virtual School and Marion eLearning. Some of them are scheduling conflicts. It could be scheduling conflicts within the school, could be scheduling conflicts outside the school. We have a lot of students that travel. They may travel with golf. We've got a golfer that travels. We have horse people that travel. We also have people that travel out of state because they're going to take care of loved ones. We've got several families that are out of state in Tennessee and Kentucky that are taking care of loved ones at this time. So again, they're maintaining that connection with Marion County. We're offering them a service to make sure they continue their education with Marion County. Again, maintaining that FTE in our county. We also obviously offer the opportunity for grade forgiveness, so keep those people on time for graduation. They can take a class over if they need to. Again, the flexible scheduling, extracurricular activities. There may be a class at brick and mortar they just can't get into. Maybe they're a freshman or sophomore and can't take Spanish 1 right now, but they want to. Their parents want them to, because there's not enough room at the brick and mortar. They can come to us, take that Spanish 1, Spanish 2, bang it out, and not have to worry about it in their junior or senior year, but they're still getting their foreign language done when they want to. One of the main reasons, that they're taking a class online, prepare for college. And I'm going to show you some statistics in just a minute where these online courses are going, the growth of the courses. Florida state statute requires every student in the state of Florida, beginning in 2011 with this first graduating class, to have an online course for graduation. Okay, so they're going to have to. Colleges and universities are moving towards this way, and I'll show you a statistic on what those numbers look like. Again, I told you we're located on the MTI campus. Mr. Worley's given us 2 classrooms. I've got one for my K-5, which is the Marion eLearning. We have students on campus. They have 3 different opportunities during the week to get on campus, to meet with their teachers, doing different enrichment, WOW activities, could be tutoring. At this particular instance, they were actually doing a science experiment. My 5th graders were on campus doing again, something we can't do virtually. They can, and other programs do, but we offer that opportunity to come and do some hands-on. So it's a really cool thing that we got going this year. This is my Marion Virtual School classroom. This is Ms. Saplinski, which a lot of you know. She's got her middle school science students on campus. Again, it's not a requirement they come on campus. We encourage them. We offer them WOW events, as I call them, to get them on campus to do something cool and different that they're just not going to be able to experience in the virtual world.
again, this is one of my parents, and this is a parent of Ashley Brady, and this is one thing people don't understand. They still have every opportunity to do anything any other student does. Ashley Brady was our first ever Daughters of the Revolution participant. She participated and wrote her essay last week with Emily Martinson, so we've got a person that's competing in the Daughters of the Revolution. She's also excuse me, dual enrolling out at CF, and you can see she'll have 42 credits done when she's done. Again, we offer a lot of the same things, most of the things any brick and mortar student has. That being said, in 2 weeks on your agenda, we're asking to get some licensure so that we can offer the accelerated reader to our K-5 program, because that's the one program in the county that doesn't have the AR. We want our students to have AR. Our students really want the AR, especially if they're coming from a brick and mortar school. They're missing out on that. So look for that on your agenda in 2 weeks, because we're definitely hoping to get that licensure passed. Just one quick thing. This is one of my Marian E-Learning coaches, as we call them, and again, they are the parents at home. Without the learning coach, without these parents in Marian E-Learning, the program would not be successful. I'm just going to play a little something for you.
My name is Ken Wade, and I wanted to express my gratitude for Marian E-Learning. I have 2 children in Marian E-Learning, and this is the second year for my first grader, and both of them really enjoyed the program. My youngest is in kindergarten, and they're excited each and every day about the curriculum, about the attention that they get from their mother, as well as their teacher here at Marian E-Learning. It's been a wonderful experience. They are learning. I don't feel as if they're missing a thing, not being in a brick and mortar school. It's just been a blessing to us and our entire family. So we appreciate Marian E-Learning, we appreciate the staff, and we look forward to what's in the future for our family and this partnership.
That last little one will be their third one when she gets ready for school. She was making her little comment known there. Again, just some of the statistics. I mean, the growth of the learning in the virtual world continues to grow. In 2012, a study was shown over 5.5 million students, college students, 30% of their courses were online. By 2015, that statistic's supposed to go to 37%. Again, it's preparing our students. Yes, we give them a great option to take a class other than in the brick and mortar. We help them resolve some scheduling conflicts. We have full-time students taking these courses because they're looking for an alternate to the brick and mortar. But more importantly, we're preparing them for the future. They're going to take classes online, whether it's in college, whether it's in a technical school, even if it's at a job. Most of their trainings are online, some sort of online delivery. It's going to be there. They're going to have to understand how to take that. I just finished a 20-hour ESE class through Marion County Professional Development. It's a great class. It's part of everything that we do, taking some sort of course virtually online. I encourage you at any point to come out to MTI. You're welcome to come see our classrooms, talk to my students, talk to my instructors. We have instructors and students on campus every day. They're required to be on campus, the teachers are, and the students are really taken to it and getting on campus also. Thank you.
Board?
Thank you, I really enjoyed the presentation. And
Thank you.
Look forward to coming over to reviewing it.
Absolutely, we encourage that.
I have one question that I've
Ma'am.
always wondered about. When you have children working on computers at home, how can you be sure that they're the ones doing the work and not their mom?
That's a great question.
that is
One
a
of
good
our checks and balances that we have through Marion Virtual School and Marion E-Learning, they're called discussion-based assessments. After every unit, the parent, the student, and the teacher must get on the phone, and the teacher asks certain questions. They don't know the questions, they can't prepare for the questions, but it gives them feedback to say, hey, you've been making A's on all your assignments, let's see if you really know what's going on.
So they ask questions to the student?
Absolutely. To the students, the parents are witness to what's going on.
Okay.
Another great thing was having the classroom on campus. My teachers enjoy having the students come on, and they do those DBAs in person on campus. And we even have small groups come in, and they can do the DBAs with several students at one time. But that's a great question. That's how we have the checks and balances to make sure they're doing that work.
How often do they have these phone conversations?
After every
Questions?
unit they finish up,
Which
they'll have a
is
DBA.
how long?
It could be every month.
Okay.
And typically, once a month, not typically, every parent and student and teacher must have a phone conversation. Doesn't have to be a DBA, but generally those DBAs are mixed in with the phone, the welcome call, and then every monthly call.
All right, thank
So
you.
that's a huge part of building that relationship, is make sure the communication's open. And now that we have that face-to-face opportunity, it's growing.
The thing that I find so interesting about what we're doing here, it's moving us toward the 21st century, where our kids are having to take courses online. And this is the thing that I find so exciting about the fact that we are doing so many neat things in the school system. We talked about several of them today. But we'll hear about the things that we're not doing. But these are the things that we're doing, and we're doing them all throughout the district. And this is, again, my hat's off to what we're doing and the progress that we have made. At one time, we only had one service, one system where we can get the training into classes, but now we have 3. So hats off to what we're doing, and I think we need to echo that. If you get a chance to talk about some of the things that we are doing in the school system, make sure we let people know that there's a lot more going on than what people will pretend that's occurring. Thank you again.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt a proclamation celebrating Education Support Professionals Day on November 19, 2014?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Crawford. Mr. Crawford, second by Mrs. Boynton. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have a proclamation. Good. Motion passed 5-0. Ms. J.C. Oliver, Executive Director of Human Resources, and Ms. Marie McCormick, President of the Marion Essential Support Personnel, please come forward for the reading and presentation of the proclamation.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Mr. Superintendent. It is truly my honor to be here today to present this proclamation to you as I began my own career as an education support professional. And so this is a group of people that is very near and dear to my own heart. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But let me first read this proclamation. Whereas the third Wednesday in November will mark the annual observance of Education Support Professionals Day, and whereas our education support professionals work tirelessly to serve our children and communities with care and professionalism, and whereas the success of Marion County students relies upon the support staff to be positive role models, and whereas the support staff have a major role in assisting our educators who shape the minds which will create the future, and whereas all support staff in Marion County have an important role to play in ensuring that all of today's students are prepared to meet the challenges established by high educational standards. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the School Board of Marion County, Florida, recognizes the third Wednesday of November to be Education Support Professionals Day, November 19th, 2014, dated this 11th day of November, 2014, signed by Mr. George Tommen, our superintendent, and our chairman, Bobby James, and other board members as well. As I said, this is truly my honor to present this to you tonight and to kick off our Education Support Professionals Day, as this group of people stands beside our teachers and our administrators and our district personnel every day to ensure that our students get what they need, whether it is educationally or emotionally. They're right there. They might be putting a warm meal in the children's belly, they might be providing a clean and healthful school, or they are providing interventions and instruction to children in need. And as I say, I started my career there, and my respect lies greatly with this group of people. And I would like to introduce to you, thank you, Ms. Marie McCormick, And Ms. McCormick is here to accept this proclamation on behalf of all of the education support professionals, she of which is one who has served our county, our community, our school district tirelessly and well. And I just want to say thank you, Marie, for all you've done.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for accepting this on behalf of all of our education support professionals.
Thank you very much.
And I know you want to say something, right?
Thank you. I have a whole lot of thank yous. Thank you, Miss Oliver, and thank you, Mr. Crawford, for all the times you talked to me, even in Publix. You took the time and patience, and you probably didn't want as many questions as I gave you, but thank you for your patience in answering them, and I'll run into you again, and I'll have more. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
From here. I'd like to thank Chris Altabello. Chris and I realize the importance of a relationship between teachers and support staff, and so Chris, thank you not only for your kind words tonight, but your actions. Let's keep doing that. And thirdly, we are here today to honor not only ESPs, but before I do that, I'd like to remember our veterans. Today, on Veterans Day, just take a moment to honor those brave men and women who served in the United States Armed Forces and remember their sacrifices and their courage as they exemplified the ideals, duty, honor, and country. I attended the ceremony today. It was just wonderful, from the children singing to the warbirds flying over. I recognize that yellow plane, by the way. And it was wonderful, but there was something in the faces of those men that was, I'm gonna cry. They cried, I was crying. It was really wonderful, and I thank you for putting that together. November 19th is National ESP Day. We know that. National ESP Day honors education support professionals and recognizes the contributions ESPs make to public education. National ESP Day is a time to strengthen support and respect for education support professionals. ESPs are equal and essential partners in public education. I just can't say that enough. I accept this proclamation on behalf of the more than 1,300 members of the Non-Instructional Bargaining Unit, the women and men who wholeheartedly continue to support the employees, students, teachers, and administrators of Marion County Public Schools. And this is like a long list, but it's really important to me to kind of point out to you that and ask you to recognize the ESPs who are in the classrooms, the ESE, ESOL, instructional and special needs paraprofessionals. I ask you to recognize the ESPs who are not in the classrooms, those working in the front offices, payroll, finance, auditing, employment services, risk management, student records, social work services, alternative programs, and federal programs. All the clerks, generalists, typists, specialists, guidance, attendants, credit recovery, information processing, and data entry. The desktop support techs, the bookkeepers, the health clinic assistants, the library assistants. I ask you to recognize all education support professionals. As you can see, ESPs are integral to the functioning of Marion County Public Schools. We are here, we want to be here, and we're not going anywhere. The work and dedication of ESPs speaks for itself. ESPs have endured the toughest of economic situations, proving again and again their dedication to our employees and to our students. I am humbled by their tenacity. I'm proud to represent them. I'm proud to be an ESP. We are the most diverse, eclectic group of people in the Marion County Public School System, and I proudly stand beside each and every ESP. ESPs, like all of us here tonight, are here for one reason: to ensure that the students of this county receive the very best education they can. We are the threads that bind, we are the minions, we are ESP, and I thank you for this proclamation recognizing and celebrating the contributions made by education support professionals. Thank you.
Marie, before you get away now, we have to give you some type of kudos because we know, and I know people may have gotten used to this saying, one teacher, one classroom, one school, one community. And as a former educator and a principal of a school, I know how important all of the essential for staff is in making the school work. Because it's so important for people to understand that everybody on that campus is a teacher, whether they're behind a desk or standing in front of a desk or helping a kid through the line in the cafeteria. And I just want to make sure that on behalf of the board, we officially and properly thank you and the support staff for what they do, because it's so important.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
One more time, guys. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Boynton, second by Mrs. Ely. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who's done?
I don't have your vote, or Mr. Crawford's.
We got it?
Mr. Crawford's missing.
The motion passed 5-0. May I have a motion to approve the following donations? $2,500 to Dr. N.H. Jones Elementary School from their business partner, Dr. Quinn Family Dentistry, via the Public Education Foundation. $5,000 to Forest High School from Lockheed Martin. Parts and labor to repair future Farmers of America tractor valued at $1,220.39 to Forest High School from Mark Brown. $2,500 to Howard Middle School from their business partner, Cox Communication, via the Public Education Foundation. $2,675 to Lake Ware High School from their business partner, Lockheed Martin Corporation, via the Public Education Foundation. $2,500 to North Marion Middle School from their business partner, Seminole Stores, via the Public Education Foundation. $2,500 to Shady Hill Elementary School from their business partner, Signature Brand LLC, via the Public Education Foundation. $1,000 to South Ocala Elementary School from South Ocala Elementary PTO. $2,500 to Vanguard High School from their business partner, O.F. Cannon, M.D., Ocala Orthopedic Group, via the Public Education Foundation. $1,000 to Vanguard High School from Jerry Weatherston. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Mrs. Boynton, second by Mrs. Ely. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We will have our thanks. Ms. Ely, did you get the
Yes.
number?
I'm sorry, what? Did I tell?
No, the thanks.
Yes. Well, that's a total of $23,395, $23,395, not including the $8,500 that MTI was awarded. And we so much appreciate our community supporting and being aware of the needs of our school. What a better way to make a donation to us. You don't even have to be a business partner, but to make a donation to a school of your choice to help the school in many ways that we're not able to, but we appreciate your support. Money always helps. Keep it coming. Thank you.
Okay. You earned that. You earned that spot right there.
Yeah.
Thank you. You do an excellent job.
Oh, okay, well.
We could have consensus on that.
Okay, on Thursday, November 18, 2014, the oath of office for 3 school board members are scheduled to begin at 11 a.m., followed by an organizational meeting of the school board and
You say Thursday?
Tuesday, I'm sorry. Tuesday, I'm sorry. An organizational meeting of the school board and the leasing corporation. The next administrative briefing and work session is scheduled for Thursday, November 20, 2014 at 9 a.m. The purpose of the work session is to review construction project, strategic plan, insurance programs, North Marion High School athletic project, draw a school draft a school accountability resolution, and a legislative agenda will be discussed, as well as the discussion of the Millage Oversight Committee. 2 special meetings regarding refinancing of certificates of participation have been scheduled prior to the start of the November 25th, 2014 regular scheduled school board meeting. Board, at our work session, we agreed to start the starting time at 5:15 p.m. However, due to required signing of papers, it has been requested that the special meeting of the school board and the leasing corporation be moved to an earlier date at 4:30 p.m. and 4:45 p.m. So please note that it's been moved up earlier. Okay. Board members, let's start with your concerns. Okay, Mr. Crawford, we're gonna hold you for a little bit. Okay, Ms. Stacy.
Yes, I'd like to talk a little bit about, now that we have gotten through the election regarding the 1 mil tax, I would like the board, maybe at a workshop when the new board is seated, to talk about the possibility of looking at adjusting our music program and such come January. We have some time to think about that. I understand with the union and that sort of thing that, you know, there's issues where music teachers have gone into the classroom, and I think we can do this in concert with the union, where we look at the positions of teachers that possibly would want to move back into their music programs. We could do a survey, and the teachers that want to move back into their programs, we could make sure we don't fill but so many slots, because I've been looking at the state statute 1001.41 regarding the arts, and well, actually the Next Generation Sunshine State Standards, specifically the arts. If you go to page 56 of that publication at the Florida Department of Education, there are many, many standards that we are supposed to be looking at and fulfilling in our district. It also talks about the general powers of the district school board. And it says the district school boards, after considering recommendations submitted by the district school superintendent, shall exercise the following. It doesn't say can do it if you can afford it, can do it if you feel like it. It says you shall exercise the following general powers. And so the school board can listen to the superintendent's recommendations, but they make the final decision on what they have in their school system. We have many children that are not receiving these services now. We have students, there's supposed to be an end-of-course exam on this. We're setting music teachers up for issues where at the large schools, like say Ward Highlands, it's got 750 to 800 students, versus Madison Street with a few hundred students. Obviously, the students are going to be getting more of the music and arts program at Madison Street, and they're going to score better on the exams that are based upon the standards, the end-of-course exams. And I'm not looking at some of the small schools, possibly we wouldn't think about adding an additional teacher, but I would like our board to discuss what is it that we want to accomplish in our school system, because right now we take a school that has 350 students and we plug a music teacher, and we take a school that's got 800 students, we plug an art teacher in. We're not looking at the students. Like, how many hours of music do we want our students to receive? And so you have a large school that's getting half as much as the school with the smaller, with the music teacher. So I would like our school board, as we move into the upcoming meetings, to possibly at a workshop discuss exactly what is it we want our students to have. Some schools might need 3 music teachers if it's an elementary school with 900 students compared to a school with 300 students. You know, we need to look at what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And as far as the funding of that, you know, I feel kind of like Ted Koppel from Nightline. I'm on about day 60 of requesting some information from the school district on our staffing plan. I've been requesting what positions do we have that are yet unfilled. I can't seem to get that. I believe strongly that's where our slush fund lies, And that's the only thing I can explain, why I'm not getting this information. But if the school board knew how many positions on the staffing plan we have not filled, then we know we have that much money sitting in the budget that is unspent, that we would have to spend on to plug in some music and art teachers at the first of the year so these students can go ahead and start getting what it is that they need. Just because the adults were really slow moving to get this all done, now we could move quickly to get the maybe even plug some paras in. There's no sense in sitting here when we've got staffing positions that are unfilled. We've got stuff sitting there that's unfilled. We've got money in the budget. We could start plugging some paras in some of these classrooms where the teachers are drowning at the elementary level, and we've got the funding to do it. And I would like for us to maybe talk about that in maybe our next upcoming workshop, where we could go ahead and plug some people in and give these people some help so that we can help the teachers at the end of the year to get the most out of our education dollars. And there's no sense in waiting. We just wait for everything here. Let's take the bull by the horns, get some paras in those classrooms. Let's hire some people. We've got the money. Mr. Crawford, you saw we had money in the budget. You're a budget guru. You knew we had money in the budget, but we couldn't convince anyone. And if you tell me we've got money, and I believe we have money, I think we have money. And there's just no reason in letting the teachers sit there and drown because the tax doesn't come available till next year. We have money now. And so that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Ms. Ely?
Ms. Stacy, you're saying you're wanting music added in January?
If possible.
Okay. As a former principal and talking to principals and teachers, it would upset the schools tremendously to move teachers around in the middle of the year.
No, I'm not talking about moving the teachers. That's
Well,
why I said.
It's the music, there's some teachers that have been added.
Then you weren't listening to what I was saying.
I was listening.
No,
I was
what
listening.
I said,
Ms. Ely's turn.
no, but
Ms.
she
Ely.
misunderstood. I said that because we
Ms.
have
Ely, you have
teachers
the
that
floor.
want to move into these positions, we would not fill all the positions. We would.
It's my
Ms.
turn to
Ely,
talk,
you have the
okay?
floor.
Well, you
Thank
misunderstood me. You're
Thank you.
quoting me wrong. If you're going to quote me, please do it right.
Okay. I wanted to thank the Forest ROTC group that came in, and all of the ROTC groups from Dunellen, Bellevue, Lake Weir, North Marion, Vanguard, Westport High, and Hammett Bowen Elementary cadets at our Veterans Program this morning. Y'all did a fantastic job, and I was very honored and proud to be there and watch all of you perform. Today is Veterans Day. It's a big day to honor our veterans all over the United States. And my father's a veteran, World War II veteran. He's 97. He was at his Veterans Day event in Melbourne today, so I couldn't get him to come. But we do need to honor our veterans and thank them for the freedom that we have every day here in the United States. I also wanted to thank the public for voting yes for the millage, for the 1 mil, so we can get a full art, music, PE program put back into schools in every school next year, in addition to a media specialist in every school and vocational programs added that we weren't able to have before. But I'm excited about that. The teachers are very excited that it got passed. And parents, thank you. Community, thank you for voting yes. We barely made it, but we made it. Yes for Marion Schools. Thank you.
Ms. Warrington?
First, I want to tell Mr. Crawford, thank you for the years of serving this county. And I remember when I first met you, how impressed I was, and just to serve with you, it was really you're worthy of my being impressed. I can't thank you enough for all the advice you've given, and just the comedy that you share with us, and just yourself. And I know that you're gonna retire and have a nice time, so enjoy your retirement there.
Thank you.
Okay. Also, as I listened to Miss Stacy, I understand what she was asking for. So, Mr. Superintendent, if we can look at an amended budget, when we discuss what she's discussing, if we can have a budget of those items showing what it would cost us to do that, that would be really helpful. And I appreciate we could put that together. Also, today is a very important day. It is Veterans Day, and I want to thank all the men and women who serve in the armed forces. I want to thank all of those who participated today at Veterans Park. All the students, all the little cadets. It was such a moving event today. I just really and all the music teachers. Because you really, you know, if you put it all together, you see the wonderful job that they've done with our students, and it was just wonderful. So, thank you again, veterans, for your service, men and women. One more thing, Mr. Chair. We were working on our resolution, and I've submitted mine to Brenda, so she'll be sending it on to you, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lake, we messed up with you last time on this, so you got a chance to say a few words. But you don't have to read. We're gonna come back to you again now. This is just a comment.
I don't have anything to add tonight.
Okay, that's okay. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of comments here. Contrary to some opinions that were stated here earlier, I am not of the opinion that Marion County Public Schools is in a race to the bottom, Mr. Chairman and board members, and I want to make that very clear. As evidenced already by some things you've seen and heard this evening, we had a fantastic presentation by our Forest ROTC students. You've had a great deal of discussion about MTI students. We've seen a virtual school presentation, and I'm very proud of what Marion County students and teachers are doing. As another examples of those, 2 weeks ago, our bands all participated in a regional band fair. 4 of our 7 bands all received superior ratings in those participations that they were in, those contests that they were in. Just this past weekend, I hope that some of you had the opportunity to attend Ocala Country Days, the opportunity that we have to work with Silver River Museum. We had 3,546 students attend on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday with their schools. Our community came out and visited that great facility, and over almost 4,000 community members attended. And of those 4,000, almost 500 were Marion County Public School employees, in which we agreed to let them come into the fair free of charge this year. Celebrate also with Vanguard High School. Their volleyball team will be traveling to the Final Four, and they play their first round this Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, almost 2,000 students participated in today's Veterans Ceremony. I was very proud to be a part of that. If you're interested, board, we also have this Friday afternoon and Friday evening a parent involvement presentation going on at Howard Academy from 11 to 2, and then again from 4 to 7 if you're interested in seeing how we reach out to involve parents. And then again on November the 20th, and I'll ask Brenda to send a reminder to you about this, we have an ESE agency fair for parents and students at Vanguard High School on November 20th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Mr. James, with your permission, I'd like to move to the podium for just a moment, sir. Sure. And Mr. Crawford, could you join me on the floor?
You can run, but you can't hide.
Mr. Crawford has already been recognized by a number of folks this evening for his great service, and I do mean great service to the Marion County community and our school system. 16 years, and he fooled us, and he thought we weren't going to get to make a presentation to you on television, but we are, and we're going to ask you to unveil this, share with the community what's in here, and then say a few words for us also.
Obviously, you did not design it to be easy.
No, sir. It's a challenge.
There you go. There is I'll let you read it.
Ronald Crawford, November 1998 to November 2014.
Thank you very much.
Read it, Mr. Crawford.
Actually,
Mr. Crawford, you know you gotta get out of my.
This actually would be very good for who's ever chairman when we do get to the end of a time period when somebody is speaking. They would not miss that. I would like to start off thanking everybody that has helped me over the years, both from the community, but especially the people that have worked for the school system. You cannot do this job without their help. They provide advice, they provide suggestions, they help you find things when you're looking for it. I have appreciated every person who has ever worked with me on that. I want to thank the people that were very kindly came tonight and said some nice, kind words. I do appreciate this. It has been a true honor and a privilege to have served on the school board. This is the greatest job that I have ever had in my life, and I will miss it, but I'm leaving with very good memories. It has been an honor to serve with each and every one of you, and some of you I knew actually before you were elected to the school board. It's been nice we've been able to continue our association. I can't mention everybody who has helped. I do want to mention 3 people that have been especially helpful over the recent years. Our board secretary, Mrs. Flockketter, the superintendent's assistant, Ms. Bundrick, and the receptionist in the superintendent's office, the Ms. Cheeley. Whenever I've called down and asked for something, they've been able to get it for me. I truly appreciate that. You all are wonderful people. We have a wonderful school system, almost 6,000 employees. God bless each and every one of you for coming in and doing the job you do every day for 42,000 students. You are the ones who should be honored, and I'm going to honor you now and say thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Could I ask Chairman James if he would now join me at the podium?
Thanksgiving, you can bring the bell and ring it. Sounds really great.
Bobby James has served our community in a variety of ways, most recently as chairman of our school board, and a token of our appreciation for your last years of service in that capacity, sir. And yes, you have the microphone also, and you can go ahead and chat a minute too.
Thank you for allowing me to do that, Mr. Superintendent. Bobby James, Chairman, School Board of Marion County, 2014. It's an empty box. Let me just say this to you. It has been indeed an honor to be able to be the spokesman for the school board for this year. It's always been a pleasure. But let me say this to you. This school board should be focused on children and the educational opportunities that we have. Guys, we need to leave all of this politics outside the door. It's showtime for us at this time. It is showtime. We want to make sure that everybody understands that we have a mission, and our mission is to focus our community on student achievement. Student achievement is what I'm about, and I will not chase anything else other than the fact that I know what needs to be done, and I will do it whether I'm sitting on that end of the table or sitting at this end of the table for the next period of time. And I will ask the superintendent once again, and we talked about this, is that I really would like to know where we are in reference to student achievement at the end of this 9 weeks. The student's report card has gone out, so we need to have a report card as well. And this will give us an idea of what we need to focus on. I would like to just remind you, I'll take my remarks from here. I had an opportunity to, once again, to be at the Central Florida Coalition of School Boards. We will discuss the amendment that the school board have put together and asking all of us as board members to, as school districts, to provide information so that we would have a solid front when we meet with the legislature in terms of opting out, in terms of what our vision are as a district. At one time, the Central Florida Coalition represented 850,000 students. We are over 900,000 at this particular point in time. We as a school board have to recognize the fact that if we are going to get something done, we have to work together. We have to work together, and for the people that are out there that want us to chase something else, I will not do it. I will not do that. My primary goal will be to focus us on student achievement in what we're doing. We will take that money that we received, and when I say this to all the taxpayers out there that voted for this millage, we will do what we said we will do with it. And I will say from the bottom of my heart, I'm Bobby James, folk. You see what you get. And you know, once I focus in on something, the mission will be very clear, and it will be very precise. At our next work session, I will ask the board, once again, to give me your resolution of the information that you would like for us to present when we go down to Tampa and work with all 10 of the coalition. When I say this to you, it's not an enlightening feeling when you are sitting around a table and you have 10 school districts and 9 have presented something and I have not. Folks, we need to focus on what we are about, and that's student achievement. Thank you. Just for some general information for the board, in your boxes you will have a white paper and you will have an assessment, a student assessment that the Central Florida Coalition, it will be in your boxes. We have put them all in there. And it will have some other items that we are looking at as a coalition to present to the state legislature. They presented us some white papers, and you will have an opportunity to review those things. And guys, I'd love for us to go down to that meeting in December with an idea and with a plan that we can work with the group, because it's going to be heavy sled now because the election is over. And as politicians go back into their layers, we have to have a plan to draw them out. So that's one of the most important things I just want to share with you today. Okay.
Mr. Crawford, anything else to say?
Mr. Crawford, you had the last.
I think I kind of took my opportunity. I just, again, I just want to say thank you for all the discussions we've had and when we have agreed and when we haven't agreed. But I think everybody has come to this dais and with the intent of doing the best for the children of Marion County, and I thank you for doing that, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future, and we'll be watching.
Thank you. One other thing that I would like for the board members to be aware of now, I've asked the superintendent to give all of us a flow chart of who's where. So when people and parents called us for information, you would have an idea of who's in charge of what and the people here. So this is the flow chart that I've asked the superintendent to provide for you. And then when we get these calls and people are asking us for various things, you will know who you should be speaking to or who you want to speak to. I've also asked him to provide you a list of numbers, so we don't have to go out there and really step on his side of the his ledger, simply because here's the information, here's the people that you need to talk with, and this will provide some assistance for us. Thank you. Mr. Lake, the chair recognizes the board attorney, Stephen Lake. Mr. Lake.
Thank you, Mr. James. School board, on behalf of attorney Gary Sanders with the law firm of Vice Cole, I'm notifying you that advice is needed regarding pending litigation styled Kamisha Townsend versus the Marion County District School Board. Pursuant to section 286.011 subsection 8 of the Florida statutes, known as the Government in the Sunshine Act, I'm requesting a session with the board for the purpose of discussing settlement negotiations and strategy related to this matter. I'll ask the board secretary to cause reasonable public notice of the time and date of this session and the names of the persons attending to be published. It's suggested that the session be held at the conclusion of your board meeting on Tuesday, November 25th, 2014, which will be at approximately 7:30 p.m. As required by the statute, only the chief executive officer or designee, board members, and legal counsel can be present. I will ask a court reporter to record the session, also as required by Florida statute. Notes will be fully transcribed and filed with the clerk of the school board. Upon the conclusion of that litigation, the transcript will be made public record.
Mr. Superintendent.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board hold an attorney-client session pursuant to Section 286.011, paren 8, Florida statutes to discuss pending litigation.
If there are no objections, I will instruct our attorney to schedule an attorney-client session to be held at the end of November 25th, 2014, school board meeting, approximately 7:30 p.m. Are there any objections? Seeing none. Thank you. Before addressing the expulsion matters, I wish to acknowledge that board members have received the alternative placement list for students through October 24, 2014. Are there any parents in the audience who wish to speak on behalf of a student regarding a disciplinary matter? Seeing none. May I have a motion to approve the expulsion of student JD 15-07, JD 15-09, and JD 15-10 with educational services through the semester of 2015-2016 school year. May I have a motion and a second?
Moved. Second.
It was moved by Mr. Crawford and second by Ms. Ely. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Moved by Ms. Ely
Second.
and second by Mr. Crawford. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passed 5-0. Being no further business, the meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you.